Hi there, I'm Mike Quinn, and you'll know me as Nine Numb from the Star Wars films, and you're listening to the Regular Joe's podcast.
To movies and toys and TV shows, comics and collecting and superheroes. There's no end to the useless stuff they know, but don't call them geeks, they're just regular Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Good evening, everybody. Afternoon. If you haven't listened to the Rhode Island show, go listen to that, because it's always the best show of the year.
We had
For
a good
us,
time.
Anyway.
Yep.
For us, anyway. Maybe for you. I don't know. If you like Star Wars, especially classic Star Wars, there's a lot of good
It's a
stories
good
on
episode,
there, so check it
yeah.
out.
We had a great time this year. We got very lucky with our guests, and I think the show was a lot of fun for us, and I think is a lot of fun to listen to. So
I have not yet listened, and I got to say, what we recorded and what we weren't able to record has kind of blurred together in my head. So
Yes.
I gotta listen to it this week.
it's like we
Well,
did
we
three
recorded
shows because we recorded Friday night and Saturday night.
Right.
But
And then we
Saturday night-
also talked to people in between off the record. And,
yeah, for lengthy periods of time. So
yeah.
it was great.
I
And if you
honestly-
listen to the show, Todd, you'll finally get to hear what Beverly D'Angelo said to us. Cause
Oh, that's good, because
we
that was
couldn't
for
hear it
Brian's
while
ears
we were
alone
in the
as we
I
were
hadn't
recording.
heard.
Yeah.
I totally forgot she had come back, too. and
Yeah,
talked
she came
to
back
us.
a second time.
Yep.
Yeah, but the two gentlemen we recorded with, I'm sure if our podcast was as widespread as others, they'd have a little bit of trouble. Not that they gave any secrets away, but they probably said more than they should have said. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and you said they were classic Star Wars guests, and that's entirely true. But these are also two guys that have been on the set of the sequel trilogy as well.
Current ones too, yeah.
Current and
classic characters. Let's
Yeah.
say that classic characters. But they may never work again.
Yeah, do entirely to us. So
I think.
no, it was,
I think
like I
they'll
said,
do
they were
okay.
they're really good guys to hang out, and for those of you considering starting a podcast and doing guerrilla talk show, wait till people have been drinking. So that's my only suggestion.
Yeah, they really
including
didn't,
us.
They claimed they were drinking. They didn't seem too. There's a couple little evidence of it.
I think they were loose,
But-
and that was good.
Yep.
We had a
They were
great
loose.
time, and thanks again to Brian and Daryl for hanging out with us for the weekend, because it was a blast.
Yes,
I gotta say,
really had
Brian
a
was a
good time this
natural
year.
with the mic. He was just like right there, moving in on people. He was
that's
awesome.
what he does too. Yeah.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He
It's
was
just-
definitely good at it, and Daryl was great at wrangling humans. So,
Yep. So
thank you both for helping us out. It was actually, when you get 5 people doing stuff, it's usually could be messy, but this actually made it better because they were super helpful. So,
Yep.
thank you. Okay, today, as we record this, the Disney Plus launched today, probably 20 hours ago or so, today on Tuesday, the 12th of November, and we all just watched The Mandalorian, and we will talk about that. We'll do some other stuff, but let's go quick. I say that more for us than for you, the listening audience. Quick random. Todd, what do you got?
okay, quick. Once you have watched The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, you should watch a featurette called "Expanding the Marvel Universe," which has footage from the recent Disney Expo, and some really cool Marvel stuff on the upcoming series, but also the first real look that we get at the What If series, which is freaking cool. Not only is Peggy Carter Cap, and I had read this, but reading it and seeing it are completely different. Steve Rogers, unenhanced Steve Rogers, is flying a Iron Man version 1 type mech suit. And there's a shot of her on his back as they're flying. It's just amazing. So they said here, and I hadn't read this previously, they're going to do a what if for all 23 films. So they're taking each one of the films and spinning it, doing these little short things and spinning it as if it could have gone a different direction.
Interesting.
So,
interesting.
So we're going to see, I guess, T'Challa will be Star-Lord, all these different things. So very, very cool. My other one, real quick, the Joker.
Sure, why not? Go ahead.
I'm going to go right. I'm going to just keep going because the Joker is the highest money-making superhero film or comic-based film of all time, even though it has not made the most money yet, because the cost of it was so low. Okay, it has grossed more money than any comic book film to date. It cost $62 million to make.
And neither of you have seen it, right?
And I have not yet seen it.
I have no interest in seeing it.
So,
did you see it, Barry?
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm going to see it. It just hasn't
weekend.
worked out. There were a couple times I thought I was going to go and things haven't worked out. But that's amazing. I mean, it will be very likely the highest money made. You know, there's a few other films that are still ahead of it that had a lower budget that made more money, but it's going to surpass them. And the dollar ratio will work out. But it's crazy.
No interest.
Okay. I'm
Barry,
assuming that didn't
seeing
step
in
on
one
anything
word?
either of you had. Barry, go ahead.
No, you didn't step on anything I had, but Dave, to answer your question, yeah, it's worth seeing. What I said when we talked about it, or maybe I wasn't talking about it with you guys, but I enjoyed it in the way that you can, hard to say I came away going, oh my God, that was amazing, because it's dark material, but it was well done. And, did I need to see, the Waynes being shot yet again? No.
Again.
But, it's an interesting take on the Joker story. It's not the Joker that I grew up with, but it was, was it worth watching? Sure. Do I want them to make more of them? No.
But, Todd, you talk about, films that are unnecessary. You're in the midst of sort of building this DC universe, and you just go off on a tangent, make something about a character. You're making other things.
I think they've given up
what
on
I
that
think
universe.
though, I think this is like the first sign of they're accepting that they're not building a universe. That
So
they're
just
going
gonna do
to
films
take
that they think
instead
are
of trying
good.
to duplicate Marvel, they're going to go off in different tangents in different directions. They can have 4 different Batmans if they want to. And just try to make movies that they can sell. And you know what? I think given the utter failure of their trying to copy Marvel, it may not be a bad strategy.
Well, and I'm not prepared to talk about it tonight, but maybe next week we'll talk about all the casting announcements that have come out for this new Batman movie. There's a lot of star power in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost interest in all of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
We'll do that another time. What's your random?
So, as you said in the open, Disney Plus came out. I have not watched anything other than The Mandalorian yet, but apparently the internet is enraged already because the version of Star Wars A New Hope that's on Disney Plus is apparently the version that Lucas had been prepping for the 3D release, which they ultimately canceled, and he made yet another change to the Han shot first scene in the Cantina. So apparently now Han still doesn't shoot.
Wait a minute. Just
version.
wait. Just one minute. He asks Greedo if it's okay to shoot him, and if somehow
quite.
that will infringe on his civil rights by doing so, and then shoots him. Go ahead.
Greedo still shoots first now, but shouts the word McClunky as he shoots Han. I'm not making this up. I haven't watched it yet, but it's been verified that now Greedo shouts something, and they say the word is McClunky as he shoots and then misses, and then Han shoots him. And apparently this was something
What
Lucas...
is that in Rhodesian or whatever his name? Whatever.
Apparently Lucas was putting this
Rhodian.
into that 3D version he was prepping before he sold the company.
What? They could not pry
I think
this
that
away
needs
from
to be
him
the
soon
episode
enough.
title,
I'm
Todd.
sorry. again, this is a guy, like I said, that testified in front of Congress that said colorizing films was bastardization and should be outlawed, and he can't keep going back to the well and messing with shit.
Well, but that was other people colorizing other people's work. This was him messing with his own. And I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying.
He's
I'm just
not
saying.
the,
I think
hey,
that
Barry.
those
He's
are
not
different.
the same George Lucas that made that film.
Well, no, he's not. But I think we have our episode title.
Doesn't he realize
It's
the
McClunky.
whole world hate? Whatever. We could go on and on about that.
So that was my one and only
Thank
random.
God. Thank God you have more. I have like 6 versions of Star Wars, so
Yeah.
I'll just stick with one of those.
So wait a minute.
No,
So you don't want the McClunky
downside
cut?
is this is the only 4K version that you can watch right now. So
Whatever. Do you really want to see that movie in 4K?
yes, but I really want to
do?
see. I really want to see the
wanna see the
original
matte
version
lines?
as it. Well, no, I want to see it remastered and beautiful in 4K.
No, you want to see the original theatrical version completely remade so that you don't see all that crappy effects. And that's not possible.
I have a line on a really, really, really nice copy that I'm working on getting my hands on. So
But it's not 4K, is it?
no, it's been up converted to 4K. I've been told, and cleaned up. So we'll see. If I get it, I will share with you guys.
Okay. Anyway.
Dave, what's
All right.
yours?
Speaking of Marvel, just so we all know, I just was reading. So, not Marvel, Disney Plus. So, 16 Marvel of the 23 Marvel movies are there. There's no Spider-Man, obviously, because
Right.
they were owned by
Yep.
Sony. There's no Hulk because they're not owned.
Right.
And then there isn't Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War, Black Panther, and something else, because those are still running on Netflix, because people were all up in arms of like,
Yeah, but they all have a
Well,
they
there
all
were
have
a
a
few.
date when they're going to be available. So
Yeah.
they actually show up in a search, but then they have the date when they're coming on board.
And there were a few
And
that,
then
as
Star
of a few
Wars-
days ago, they weren't going to have, and they pulled some last minute deals to get as many of them as they did get.
Yeah. So the
and then
yes,
Last Jedi's not there, not because it's on Netflix. They said it says right on the thing. If you don't have, because this movie's a piece of shit. It says right there.
it will be available December 26th. So
Whatever.
just they want to get that last Christmas. They want to get the last purchase of Blu-rays before Christmas before they drop it on you.
Yeah, everyone's running out to buy.
And then
the
interestingly,
Last Jedi
Solo
Blu-rays.
is July 20th. July
Yeah, they probably-
something in 20. So
They cut deals to be on Netflix and stuff. There's also quickly. I just happened to be walking by a Levi's store. There's a Levi's partnership with Star Wars. If you want a Levi's denim jacket with all like TIE fighters and stuff on it, they'll sell you that for $128.
how much do you have to pay not to wear it?
Yeah, exactly. There was one cool thing that's sort of just a black T-shirt, short sleeve and long sleeve, with a little picture right here of the Hasbro Chewbacca figure.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, that was, and then down the sleeve, if the long one, it has his growl noise,
Oh.
like written out.
Okay.
Let me get that. So
the other
I
night,
just
my
haven't
my,
seen it.
my youngest son Joey asked me to rank my Star Wars movies in order of the one that I like them.
didn't he listen to the show?
He doesn't listen to our show, and that's okay. But
Okay,
he asked me, so I went down the list, and when I said The Last Jedi was my least favorite, he said, "Really, why?" And I said, "It's right in the title." So the word "last" is right in the title. That made him laugh. So
Was it what? How does he feel? Does he like that movie?
he feels the way we all feel. He's become quite a bit of a little movie critic in his time on Earth. So he's been rating movies. And if we talk at all about Terminator, if I give you guys my review, I'll tell you what he reviewed it on Instagram.
Okay, that's good.
So
Okay, we'll do that.
Dave, what else you got?
That's all I got. So, we have a lot to look forward to with all this stuff. And you know who else we could always look forward to things from? Fanboy Collectibles.
yeah,
What's out there? There's some cool Iron Giant. Iron Studios Green Arrow and Green Lantern statues. If those are your characters, check those out. Those are very cool. There's a ton of Disney statues, all sort of the princesses and all those things. If that's your thing, it's not all superheroes and action figures. There's Disney princesses and stuff. So check those out. There's a Conan 1/6 scale action figure too up there from
Chronicle.
So not
Conan.
Conan.
Yeah, that
O'Brien.
looks pretty
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, there are pops. There's certainly pops from all the new series and stuff. There's Hot Toys. There's everything. So check those guys out. FanboyCollectibles.com. Check them out in their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Okie dokie. So we all just watched The Mandalorian. Todd, did you watch it this morning?
I watched it this morning. I watched it once at work, and then I watched it again tonight.
Oh, you've watched it 3 times already.
I also watched The Rocketeer once today, and I got halfway through The Black Hole.
You're
There's
getting
some
your
cool
money's
stuff
worth.
on it, and I watched a little bit of Tron, but yeah,
That's about as much as
A
I can
little bit
take.
of Tron
on
goes a long way.
it does go long. That's when I decided to unplug.
I got to work this morning, and a good friend of mine who listens to the show, so hey, Michael, emailed me at 8:30 in the morning asking if I'd seen it yet, and I said no. He told me he got up at 5 in the morning so he could watch it before he went to work. Now I feel
I'm
like
not in the mindset to watch things.
I just don't feel like I'm as dedicated as I thought I was when I start hearing stories like that.
No, I mean, I got to be in the right mindset. Okay, pop quiz. A rating of 1 to 10. Let's start out. Let's cut right into it. Todd, you saw it the most times. Give it a number.
9.5.
Oh, really?
Really?
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't think Todd could rate
Barry?
anything Star Wars 9.5. I'm impressed.
Neither-
I'm
Step
loved it.
outside yourself and
I
give
loved
it
it.
the number you want to give it.
I'll give it a 9 because I don't do the
That's
points.
really- he's hemming and hawing. I'm gonna give it an 8, and I do think it'll grow, but I was a little underwhelmed.
Really?
Wow.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
First of all, it's 35 minutes. Like, really? We're all waiting and paying money and waiting for this thing.
Well, with
You're
all the
throwing
credits, it was 40, but
It was 39.
Okay.
It was 39.
yeah.
It was 36 minutes and when the credits rolled.
Okay. So yes.
But I'm just saying, like, come on, dude. We're spending money here. We're waiting 35 minutes.
The part of Todd is now being played by Dave. Go ahead. So,
I bash everything. You know that. But no, I'm not saying I didn't like it. But again, maybe it's all the hype. I'm very excited about it for the past couple of weeks. And I'm
Well,
just,
I think it's fair to say that a portion of what we saw in this first episode, we had seen between trailers and previews, and the thing that we saw at Celebration,
And the extended
we probably
scene that we saw.
Yeah, so we saw a bunch of this already, but
I was hoping. I know we've seen bits and pieces. I was hoping we'd get, and I know it's only the first episode, but still, I was hoping we'd get a little more out of this character. The character's a little thin, and I thought we'd get a little more out of it.
this is. I think this is a prologue. I think this is just
And
kind of getting a sense of things. You get a sense of who he is. I think they had some elements in here which I didn't expect, and I thought were very good. Not the revelation at the end, but I'm saying some certain
There'll be
elements.
spoilers, people. By the way, sorry.
Yeah, there are going to be spoilers. Here's the big thing to me, and this is why this I think unlike you, Dave, but more like you, Barry, I have consumed Star Wars stuff that doesn't involve the Skywalker family. Okay, this is the first live action thing we have ever had that was outside of the Skywalker saga. Okay, that exists on its own. And it had a very high bar to meet for that. If they had been really lazy and tried really hard to shoehorn those little connections in and stuff like that, I'm glad that they just stuck this little thing out there like a little appendix and just let it be its own thing. They didn't name drop anybody. They didn't, it was, I thought.
There was a couple. There was the Easter eggs and stuff.
But not, it wasn't like, oh, he looks like IG-88, who I worked with back on, it's like, and nobody made a reference to Jabba. Nobody, it was.
But no, I mean, what I liked about it,
go ahead.
What I was going to say, what I did like was that, growing up and all through the history of Star Wars up until this point, really, I mean, unless you really include Clone Wars and all that, which I do, but the Mandalorians were thought to be extinct, right? So then we see all this stuff in Clone Wars about the Battle of Mandalore and all this stuff, but by the time we get to Return of the Jedi, we're made to think that Boba Fett, if he is a Mandalorian, is the last of them, or that they're not common. And in this, you see that there are more than one. I was a little surprised when he goes down that hallway and he goes down and he meets that person who does the metalsmith or whatever that
But
person was.
I kind of took that as like a Mandalorian temple, okay? And how cool is it that a Mandalorian priest is man's a forge and not an altar, okay? I think that's what that's about. And
yeah, and that there was that one kind of metal that is known to be the Mandalorian armor is made out of, and that when bringing some of that back to the, we'll call it a temple because we don't know what it is yet. But yeah, I was actually happy to see that he's not, he may be the man with no name in this, but and maybe we'll see his face and all that, and I hope we do. But just the fact that he's not the lone Mandalorian that's out there, roaming the galaxy, I think is good.
Yep.
On one hand, I do like that they didn't spoon feed you everything. On the other hand, I don't think there's someone who is not, and I guess they don't care. There's not someone who's not a big Star Wars fan that's really going to love this. I don't think.
I don't think they were lined up today to watch this either. I think if they bought this service, they bought it for Disney princesses.
I don't read all this stuff.
They're doing a ton of promotion on
No,
social
but what I'm
media,
saying is, if this was the first
the
piece of content that you gravitated towards, there was a reason for it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but,
and whether or not you know who the Mandalorians are, or whether you have all that backstory, it has the total vibe of classic Star Wars, and in and of itself, I think that's kind of what they're going for.
There's common elements, but they just didn't beat you over the head with it. It didn't say, see, really, we're Star Wars. See, I think, again, this is what I've been waiting for. It is a big universe. It's about freaking time we saw some other parts of it. And we see some other elements of this, other characters who, like I said, have no direct connection to the single story that they've been telling us since 77. And, or retelling us.
And how about the fact that in a 39-minute episode of the first live-action series we've ever seen of Star Wars, there's 2 references to the holiday special.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
Life Day.
I was alien was talking about Life Day and going home to see his family.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. That's something most people aren't.
What was the other reference other than? Are you talking about
the fact that he's the
rifle?
Gun.
Okay, so two
the rifle,
2 callbacks. Anyways, yes.
Yeah.
So, I caught the Life Day, and I love that. Like I said, that the tuning fork thing is a shock weapon. That was great.
I'm trying to see almost who is everybody? Is there everybody somebody that we should know? Were the Carbonite people? Obviously, Boba Fett sort of, or somebody really, Darth Vader, I guess, kind of. Hey, we just invented the new way to transport people on ice.
But think about it. It's like somebody was the first to use a toaster oven, and then everyone had one. So
yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
It's
whose idea was it? It wasn't Vader's. It was.
Well, no. Vader said he wanted a way to transport Luke, and I think he was the one that suggested the carbon freezing. They said they didn't know if humans could survive, and that's why they put Han in, was to see if to test it.
Yeah,
but I didn't know who said it to him.
Yeah. Now, like I said, there's franchises everywhere throughout the galaxy.
There's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get those little modules cheap. Hey,
it's like a fidget spinner. It's just
was the taking those things out of the ship in the clip that we saw. I don't think that was.
No.
So we saw it when he sat down with Carl Weathers through when he went to see Werner Herzog. But they added that clip in there then.
But they've also perfected the technology, because in Cloud City it was a giant facility, and now you can have it a mobile version in your ship.
Yeah, it's like a computer taking up a room, and now you have an iPhone.
Right.
So
but I just for something I wanted his. I mean, and I'm like, I know it's not easy, but you get 10 minutes of Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy, and you get a fully developed character. I feel like I need a little more out of this guy, especially if he's going to lead this.
But that's because they had 2 hours for that movie. You have 6 hours.
No, I'm saying in the first 10 minutes, you get more of Rocket than you did in half an hour. This guy being on screen every minute. It's just a comparison of. I think they could.
I feel like they've got breathing room here. I'm fine to see them use it. I think we've
But
seen.
I also
that
think
this,
that they want him to be mysterious, and if they laid out his whole everything in the first episode, it wouldn't quite be so mysterious.
Yeah, otherwise
good point.
we'd have seen him take the helmet off. Kind of interesting that he does, even if you didn't see. I kind of expected the helmet to come off, even if you didn't see his face. I almost expected when he was in that temple, when the forge.
Yes, when they nodded at each
I almost
other,
thought
I
they were
thought
gonna.
that was.
I thought they were going to lock his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
thought,
thought
like-
the nodding at each other was like the sign to take helmets off, but
Yep.
it wasn't.
And
Have you heard any of this armor thing before, where they forge this special metal into
No.
armor? Is that
And
because
it looks like
the pictures we see of him, he's in all silver armor.
Yeah,
it
I'm
looks like
assuming by the end of it.
he's earning his actual armor a piece at a time. I think some of the other bits are just placeholders, right?
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, or
It's
they're
sort of
made out
just
of
regular
lesser metal. Yeah.
Which is interesting because is Boba Fett's armor looks like his armor? Is that all just metal and he's a fake Mandalorian?
Well, we know Boba Fett's not really a Mandalorian. He's a clone of a guy who wasn't a Mandalorian. So,
That's right.
he was a poser
Yes. Who died like a bitch.
Interesting.
who died like a bitch in the Sarlacc pit. Yes.
So,
Well, and,
yeah,
the
no,
other thing
I
was
like
we,
it.
We'd all
This guy is legit. I believe he's a legit Mandalorian, or he's certainly trading. No, he is. He is legit.
He's
like I said,
gotta
he went
be.
to that
He's
temple
gotta
and
be.
stuff. I like the ship. It's a little Firefly-ish, but I do like the. I like
It's like a little Firefight. It's a little Slave One.
Yes.
There's definitely
But
a
it's-
Slave One
it's-
feel to it.
It's definitely got a retro feel to it, and the fact that like the guy, the very talky, very Jon Favreau character guy from the beginning, who was saying, "Oh, it's pre-Empire." It's he's talking
Like, who is that? Somebody we should know who that is. That's
No.
what I'm curious.
He was
about.
No,
just a
I think
bounty.
that was just the Jon Favreau always likes.
I'm saying like someone famous. Did you see the guy who drove the land speeder?
Yeah.
That's that Brian Posehn guy.
Yep.
yeah,
Who's been in Big Bang and he's a comedian and he's into sci-fi and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, on the ship
I didn't know
for
if
a second, like, I don't actually think I love the design, and maybe it'll grow on me, but it definitely feels of the universe. It's very stubby to me, and it's very utilitarian, but not elegant.
No, there's no elegance to it. I think it's almost evocative of like a World War II bomber kind of thing, where it's very functional. You can see how this thing could be, as manufactured. It's probably, like I said, probably Clone Wars era.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
And
Art
it says
Deco-ish to me in the same way,
pre-Empire.
like one of those chrome trailers looks Art Deco. It's got that kind of a vibe
It's
going.
got an Airstream
it's
look
also
to
got
it.
those
That's actually a
big
good
engines,
analogy,
so,
Barry. It's a very Airstream looking spaceship.
But it definitely feels like it fits. And actually, I liked that the first land speeder pulls up and he's like, nope, I don't want one with the droid. And then the next one comes up and it's kind of rickety and a piece literally
this
falls
guy's
off
a little
of it.
bit droid. He's a little bit droid discriminatory.
He's definitely got droid issues. That's
Yes.
sort of his hang-up. He doesn't like droids.
But that's okay. That's okay. Everybody's a bad experience.
So here's one
But-
thing I will say. I know that they made a big deal out of IG-11, and I really kind of hope that character's not a one and done in the first episode.
Oh no,
because
he's
I
done.
I have a
He's done.
$250 Hot Toys figure
He's-
on pre-order for that guy.
If you read IMDb, he's in one episode. That is
Really? That's ridiculous.
that is 15. That was his 15 minutes of fame, and literally, I think it was 15 and a half. So
I loved that. I loved everything he did in the episode. But yeah, I mean, to pre-order a Hot Toys figure for a character, not knowing.
Barry actually thought that the second time I saw it. I says, "Well, Barry ordered one of these figures, and he's already whacked."
I hate that we have a way of knowing that, but
Yeah. So,
but he
and
was
they've
awesome. I
they've
love he's
also
like-
I got to say they've cheated in IMDb before, so it's possible he'll be back.
I loved
It's
everything
also
about
possible
him. I
he's
loved
played
the
by
way he
somebody different.
moved.
So,
I love the way his legs reoriented. I mean, they
Oh, my
really
God.
did
The-
such a
the-
good job on his movements.
and the quirky, jerky, almost hairy,
Harryhausen. Yeah.
Harryhausen way that he
Yeah.
moved. It was perfect, and it was
And
like
it's such
and
an
I
odd
love
character
the
design.
Pivot.
It's always been an odd character design, but the way that the eye stalk on the front spun around so that he could see where he was
And then
shooting
the,
at all
then
times.
the eyes tilted down.
Yeah.
But I loved at the point when he went to instead of stepping over the guy, he swung his leg around past the guy, and then it was just a more efficient movement,
Yep.
and it was like, oh, that's slick. It's like, because he doesn't
No,
have to
that-
walk
you
like a
wanna know
human
something?
being. What's that?
If we're going by that, it also says, okay, Brian Posehn, 1 episode. That I get. He got blown up and eaten by that guy. But it also says Carl Weathers, 1 episode. You know Carl Weathers is in only a 1 episode.
Yeah.
They're just making the assumption that the dude who plays the main character is in all 8 episodes,
Right.
and then almost every other person and that girl too. Is she the one in the armor? You think?
No, I don't think so. I think she's a more of a fighter type.
It says she's in 1 episode also. So
Yeah, so they're just they didn't release. All they did was release that, and they're just okay.
Gina
So
Carano.
there's
No,
potentially
Gina,
coming.
right.
Somebody will
we'll
fix
see
the big
IG
hole in his
Maybe
head.
we'll see. No, I meant IG-11. Maybe we'll see IG-12. That would be funny for every episode.
Different
Wait a second,
IG.
I'm IG-12.
Would it be IG-12 or would it be IG-22?
Or would it be IG-75,
Yeah, who knows?
82? How many IGs are there?
Yeah.
We know there's at least 88.
No, I'm saying, are they 11, 22, 33, 44,
No, it could
50?
be. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
But, yeah, I did like it. I was cool, and I just like, I'm going to self-destruct. Like,
All right, so we had
Yeah, buddy.
heard going into this for almost 2 weeks now that there was some big revelation in this that had an impact on all of Star Wars. I honestly did not see it coming until it happened. Did you?
no, not at all.
Yeah. So I was glad I didn't read anything because I would have been upset if that
yeah,
had been spoiled for me.
this is all over everywhere. So,
I know. I avoided everything
yeah.
today.
So
It's
But
why I
we're
watched
saying it.
early and often.
Spoilers.
But,
So there's a baby Yoda type character.
Yeah, there's a whatever that species is called. I don't even know if we know what it's called.
but we don't know what the
that-
species is called.
that's the bounty he was-
But
said.
how do they know, like, it's something special? I mean, not every whatever Yoda frog person is a Jedi, are they?
or maybe they
Everyone
are.
we've seen, right?
We've seen 2,
We've seen 2.
right?
So, yeah.
And they both are.
Right. So this bounty that he was sent after, they said was so secretive that they couldn't even give him one of those discs that it was, no photos, no whatever, no holograms. But when he gets there, it's a baby, and they open it up, and it's a baby Yoda-ish character. So what that means for the universe, who knows? But it was a cool surprise.
It was a cool surprise, and clearly someone wants it dead because IG-11's orders were to kill it,
Right.
okay?
And the other guy did
Mandalorian's
say-
orders were to bring it back, but he
If
understood
at all
if
possible.
he couldn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, now then here's another thing. So, did all those 50 people they killed good?
Well, that's a good question. They were
Were
protecting.
they all like rebels?
They were
Or
protecting-
somewhat
Oh, no.
good?
No. The guy, Nick Nolte's character, laid that out very clearly, that these were basically mercenaries that all came in and were there. So,
Nick Nolte was the guy with the monkey guy.
the goggles, yeah.
that he's an
I'm glad we
Ugnaught.
didn't actually have
That
to
was
see
an
Nick
Ugnaught.
Nolte.
He's an Ugnaught.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes,
I
Yes.
didn't catch that.
he's an Ugnaught. I've actually heard there's another podcast where they're calling him Ugnolte, but
Nolte, okay, I like that.
but yeah, I don't know what his actual character name is, but yeah, that he's playing
So-
an Ugnaught.
I
So
mean,
you think someone else had this Yoda thing in captivity?
Well, maybe who knows what they were doing with it? Were they selling it to the highest bidder, or were they protecting it, or who knows what they were doing with it?
okay, so we have all raised at least one child, okay? Imagine having a baby that's a baby for 50 years.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that
Well, not
that was.
if you live to 900.
No, but,
Yeah,
but
well, that
someone
was what
still
threw
has to
us
take
off,
care
right?
of it.
They said that the age was 50. We weren't expecting it to be a baby.
Right.
I know that was
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, here's another question. Does Baby Yoda show up in the Rise of Skywalker? Could they be tying this into that?
That's interesting.
But the problem is,
That's
it's only
30
gonna
years
be,
from now, so he'd only be
It's only
he'd
going to
only
be
be 80.
80.
So he's going to be like a 4-year-old.
That doesn't really do us any.
No.
But you know what? They also they said they age differently. Okay? So
0 to 50, baby. 50 to 80, badass teenager. I don't know.
Or even
who
if
knows?
it's not a fully grown Yoda, even if it's just that they're showing us that there's, they are reforming, the light side, and that they've got this whole group of people, and maybe one of the things that they, felt they needed for this new order was a new Yoda. I don't know. It would be
I'm kind of okay if they don't. I'm kind of okay if they don't do that, but
that's a big deal. If they're making a big deal of it, it's interesting.
It would be weird for them to try to introduce an entirely new storyline like that, along with the Palpatine storyline, into a 2.5-hour finale of a 9-movie arc.
Oh, unless it's something like this creature's 30-year-old later incarnation has a cameo. Like they're training a whole bunch of like Force adepts at one point, and there's little Yoda-ish.
It's tough. It's actually
or maybe
tough
it's the new
do
chosen
that.
one. Maybe it is the new Nexus of the Force.
Okay,
They're
until
also
we have
figuring there's gonna
confirmation
be
of an
season
actual
2.
name, I'm going to call it Yodel. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yodel.
Well, we had Yaddle and Yoda.
That's what I'm saying.
Was it really
I'm going
Yaddle, or
with
did
Yodel.
they make that up?
I'm just going with Yodel.
That'll stick.
So.
It's interesting that if they're making a big deal of it, there isn't some reference of it in the future. But then again, it really doesn't need to be.
Yeah, the very next scene in next week's episode, it could get killed. So, who knows?
It could also be that there's a handoff.
IG-22 kills it.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a handoff somewhere in the series of that, the Mandalorian handing that baby off to the Empire.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Or
Obi-Wan's got to take care of every baby that no one else wants to deal with.
Or it could be handed off to the somebody on the dark side to be, doing whatever with, cloning it.
Yeah.
Or...
I in any case, I thought it was cool. It was a little hook there without it being like, oh, it's Luke Skywalker's lightsaber that we're going to hand off to somebody, whatever.
Right.
It came out and there was no who the like what? That's weird. Like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So
I would have liked another 10 minutes.
I liked
of this. I'm with
overall,
you, Dave, that it was too short.
I would have liked a good 45-minute episode.
I think they told the story that now. I hope they're all not this short. I hope they're varied in length. But I thought this was a good introduction to him. I don't think there's anything here that I objected to. I liked how it was paced. I liked the action sequences. The action sequence was really done well. I like his character. I was worried he was going to be a little too stoic, and he's not.
It was good to see him on that two-legged banta with the falling off and stuff.
I mean, but that's classic like Western thing. Okay, with the Buck and Brock. They really leaned into the Western thing. I mean, you could have called this episode a fistful of credits. Okay, I mean, it was just it was the bounty hunter thing, the riding the blurgs,
they were blurgs.
The kind of frontier world and that town, everything like that. Very, very Western. I think that's great. They need to do some slightly different things with this universe if they're going to keep it fresh and keep doing different things. And like I said, I really think it's time to put to move away from the Skywalker saga. And this did this really well. This, to me, felt like Star Wars universe stuff, expanded universe stuff done well. Okay.
And it was very cinematic, and it didn't. Yes. It never felt like it was made for TV. I felt
not at all.
Like the visuals of it, everything about it was top notch, and I really liked all the aliens and the variety of aliens that we saw. We saw more aliens we're familiar with in this 30-minute episode than we did in the last 4 movies.
Right. But it worked, though, because, again, like I said, they're still kicking around the same universe. We saw this before, but I love the mercenary stormtroopers that all look like they haven't had a sandwich in a while. They cast super skinny dudes for that.
Crazy.
Yep.
It was great. I
love the squid head alien that he ends up chopping in half at the door.
the whole, like I said, this is a piece of this universe we have never seen anywhere else. This post, Empire in this kind of dark period where we can actually see how the First Order rises up if we get that far with it.
On the marketplace they were walking around, Dave, I don't know how you feel, but it felt a little bit like the Galaxy's Edge marketplace, like, hallways with the drapes hanging in the middle, and it kind of, and that's what Mos Espa looked like. So it's I like that they're tying it all together.
Yeah, no, it's good. It was enough of the familiar. You need the familiar stuff there. It didn't have that kind of like, oh, now let's show you this and let's show you. It felt familiar. It felt of that universe, but it seemed like a different story entirely. And he's enough of a different character where, you're not like, oh, this is the Han Solo stand-in, or this is the whatever. It's. I like I said, I really liked it. I found it a little predictable. How much did they telegraph that dude in the land speeder was going to get taken out? I mean, it was like, really? You got to keep cutting back to this guy watching the guy because something. Oh, and there he goes. A few things like that. But there were other things that even when you saw them coming, how they played out was better than you could have imagined. I really liked the hopping on the gun platform thing. And even though you kind of knew where he was doing it, was really, really cool. I love the walking through the doors.
That is the same exact laser that they used in Hoth. The snowtroopers were using that exact laser without the hovering platform.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's stuff like this. I hate to say this, but this felt like one of the really good Clone Wars episodes where you watched it and you said, God, I wish they'd done this live action. And they did. So, It's I'm super encouraged by this. I really am. Like you said,
we only have another couple days to wait for the next episode, which is great.
What's right? The 18th?
No, it's this Friday. The next one's this Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Oh. So the day this podcast like said, goes live, there's 2 episodes out there.
A tad predictable, but we also saw a bunch of it. So
yep.
So you think that guy works for the Empire, that Werner Herzog guy?
No, I don't think anybody works for anybody at this point. On.
He did have the Imperial. He's definitely like
he's former.
I feel like
Empire.
He's in Argentina.
That's exactly, Barry. Dave. I was going to say, I bet this guy's got an Imperial officer's uniform that's 2 sizes too small in his closet. Okay, but
he definitely had like a German accent.
Yeah, and that's what they're going.
Yeah,
for.
I mean, this is only 3 years post Fall of the Empire, so it's
not
not
that
3?
far off. I was thinking
Nazis
it was like 6 or 7. So
no, it's only 3.
He was a Moff somewhere.
Yeah, he had a nice high-ranking position in the Empire and is pissed off now because he's having to make his own way and figure it all out.
Yeah, but he's putting everything in his pocket, so it's like it's
and he figures he could run the place if he takes out Yodel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In the Barry, you remember the book? I can't think of what it was. The Aftermath book that we both read.
I never made it past the second chapter of the first Aftermath.
Oh,
book.
you never did?
I gave up on it. Yeah.
Well, there was some similarities there. I didn't care for it myself. But there's some similarities there where they had, like former Imperial officers that were like trying to set up black markets and stuff like that, and getting caught and beat up and stuff. So yeah, that would explain why he's got the stormtroopers, in his employ and
after the fall of the Empire. That's what was nice. It's almost like one of these sort of film noir where the Nazi. It's after World War II, but there's still Nazis everywhere.
Right. Yes.
Yep. So.
And how about that opening little animation sequence with all the little silvery? I thought that was a nice way of doing it. You get the Lucasfilm logo, you get these little things, and then it goes right into the story. There was no.
And it said Star Wars, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they're sort of branding it. That's almost like Marvel or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me ask you: how did you guys watch?
I watched it on my TV. I have a Roku TV, so I downloaded the Roku app onto my TV.
Yep.
I watched it on my
4K. I guess it's a 4K app.
Yeah, my Samsung TV. I watched it on the Disney Plus app in 4K.
I could not get the Disney Plus app to install on my Samsung TV. I started
Well, you
watching
said that too, Barry.
This morning, I tried loading it at 7:15 this morning, and I had trouble with it. And Disney was kind of plagued with issues all day. I had issues on a number of platforms. I was trying it at home and at work, because at work, you guys all know I work for a cable company, so I had a lot of equipment there. But I think by into the evening, they had everything worked out.
Okay. See, I think my issue was with Samsung, because I couldn't. I mean, I go to install the app and it would just spin and spin and spin and spin. It wouldn't. It wasn't even. I didn't even get to where I had a problem playing the show. Then this is really interesting. I hooked my iPad.
That's what the same problem I had this morning. I couldn't get the app to install.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I hooked my iPad Pro up to the TV. It played fine for 6 minutes and then stalled. And then I disconnected it, plugged it back in, and it said, due to restrictions in this app, you cannot play to an external device.
Yes.
And
Really?
I have not been, and I've tried it on 3 different TVs. I cannot get it to play from the iPad. So I then...
That's called DRM, my friend.
But what I'm saying, but it worked for 6 minutes.
Yeah,
took 'em-
they probably
It took them a little
hadn't
bit
pushed-
to catch what, it's like, so whatever.
Yeah.
So I plugged it into the Chromebook that's hooked up to my TV, and it played great. So, and I watched it that way, a couple of times. But
There was a guy. I'm coming home and I'm sitting down. I sit down next to a guy watching something. I'm like, he looks like a sort of normalish nerdy guy. I'm like, oh boy, hope he's not watching it. He had a big iPad. He was watching like Handmaid's Tale. And as I'm sort of settling in, there's a guy across the aisle watching it on his phone. And I'm like, first of all, you're a loser for watching it on your phone. And second of all, I don't really want to be seeing it at all. So
he was seeing it for the fifth time. He's been watching since midnight.
It's meant to be watched on a bigger screen than that.
And it really, I got to say, it does look much better. I've watched it on 2 different sites. I watched it on a little screen in my office and the big screen at home. It's better on the big screen. I like it. I love this thing. I'm on for the ride. I think this is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm really pleased the way they did it. And again, I've always liked the expanded universe. In some ways, I've liked the expanded universe better than what they've done with the existing characters. I felt like when they went back to the well, like with the prequels and stuff like this, and revisited the existing characters, I felt in a lot of cases like they diminished them. The most recent film, I really feel like they diminished them. This can be its own thing. You're not going to this with any preconceptions of who this person is, and that excites me. So we'll see.
I'm hopeful. Okay, let's move on because we're running long here. All right, let's go. What's in the box?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Barry, what's in the box?
What is in the box? Well, I've got another addition to my vintage Star Wars toy collection. This is a vintage snowspeeder, got recently. It came with a Luke X-Wing pilot figure, because they never made a Luke snowspeeder pilot figure. So the Luke in the orange jumpsuit fits both vehicles. It's complete. It's got the harpoon and the extra little attachment there. It's got the original rope. It's got all the decals, all the stickers on it. It apparently works. I have not gotten the C batteries I need to try it, but these guns actually light up and it makes noise. The person I bought it from tested it, said it worked. So I have a modern era snowspeeder like this that's actually signed by John Morton, the guy that played Dak, but I didn't have a vintage one, so now I do. And it's in really good shape, so I'm happy to have it.
I feel that vehicle is one of the few that's actually in scale with those figures.
Yeah,
it's very in scale, yeah.
They didn't have to take any liberties with this one, like the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter for sure.
It almost looks oversized, to be honest with you.
I feel like the snowspeeder and the A-Wing are the two that do the best, yeah.
The interesting thing about this was that, the cockpit leaves a lot to be desired. There is a second seat in there, but the cockpit just popped up. But you can't get a figure in there. So, and Luke just lays.
You can't even throw.
Luke just lays
in
down in there. He doesn't even sit per se. If he were sitting up, you couldn't put the canopy back on. So it's
really?
It's a
That's
little
pretty funny.
It's either a little underscale or the figures just aren't made to sit properly in this kind of a vehicle. But I guess you potentially could jam somebody in the back there. But yeah, I guess
So does Goose fit in the back there? Yeah, good.
Cut his legs off.
There you go. I did get a figure in the back, so now I need to get a
Did they
second.
make a DAC in the old days?
They did not. They only have Luke, so I can put 2 Lukes in there. Nobody will know. But yeah, it's
I'll know.
I
it's a
would
good
know.
shape.
Boy, it's going to ruin it for me.
Now
Did they
everybody
make
that
him
listens
in
to
the
the
new-
show will know.
Did they make him in the new era? In the
Yes, and actually in the modern one that I have, I've got the Luke and Dak figures in it. And it's funny, I brought that, the one that I have John Morton signed, I intended to get Mark Hamill to sign at the last celebration until I found out he was charging over $300, and I said, not going to do it. So.
good call.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
what's in my box. Dave, what's in the box?
All right. Carrying on with my auctions of autographs, I have Bill Murray from Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's a nice autograph. Look at that.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him much. There's that out of the thing. Yeah.
Nice.
It's so I got this from the Todd Mueller autograph auctions, and I did check it against a couple of known examples. It's got certification and all that stuff, but that's his autograph.
That's a good
I need
looking
to
autograph.
start paying more attention to those auctions because you
Yeah.
seem to be getting really good deals there. So
Yeah, I'm hoping they're all real, but I do think this one is real. I mean, and they do make if you take it to somebody who a third party thing, and you have proof that it's not what it is, they'll refund your money.
now, is
So,
that an 8x10?
That is an 8x10.
Good, because I know that's what you prefer.
I know. I've got these 2 other giant things that I'm like, I don't want those anymore. And unfortunately, I wish I could transfer this to my Ghostbusters autograph I had bought a couple of weeks ago,
Yep.
a couple of months ago. But maybe I'll frame this and put it underneath it, even though he's in there as well. But what are you going to do?
Well,
So
you can't have enough Bill Murray.
you can't. And I haven't seen. I mean, you really only get him on the street.
Yeah.
I think so. That's what's in the box for me. Todd, what's in the box?
Okay, I have a book. This just came out. This is the book of blueprints from Aliens, or Alien. Okay, and then there's alien stuff in there. So basically, they took all of the things that we see in the movies, and they went through and they extrapolated them out and made blueprints. So you've got the Nostromo, and you've got the dropship, the little vehicle thing that rolls around yes, one of the less memorable
APC.
ones.
LV 426.
Yep, and really, really cool. Lots of drawings, lots of really good drawings. Lots of like I said, cutaways and stuff like that. Pages fold out, so like the Sulico is huge, so that folds out into like multi pages and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it's kind of neat. I've been in an Aliens kick lately, and like I said, this just came out. I did pick up the making of book that you have, Dave. I got that too.
Okay.
This is around the time of year you're supposed to stop buying things for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought like one of you might like this, so I'm checking it out on your behalf. So
Okay,
anyways,
there you go.
That's fine. And because it's a large book that I bought from Amazon, it came with a ding in it, and which just really irritates
geez.
me. It's only a little one, but I'm gonna probably get another one. So, but anyways, that's my what's in the box.
Cool.
Okay. We've got time for this, I think. So, is this a new segment, or we're just sort of we're calling this Point Man?
Yes, where one of us
Trying
goes,
this one
one
out.
of us goes out, takes the lead, and goes out ahead of the team, and lets us know whether it's worth moving forward. So
Well, and then we didn't plan it that way; it just happened that way.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I thought we all said we were seeing it.
we
this
all
weekend,
agreed we
so-
were watching it, going to see this movie, but it's happened before too. So
Yeah, but
so anyway.
I'm not always the one that actually makes it out. So I'll be the point man on this one, and I'll take this one for the team. So how do we want to work this? Is it okay for me to spoil the crap out of this, or do you want?
no,
me to
not
do
at
this?
all. Not at all. This is straight up.
It is.
Did it meet your expectations, and should we be going to see it? Kind of thing.
Oh, that's all it is.
It's not a spoiler.
Pretty much it.
It's not a spoiler.
Ooh, okay.
It's more of it's a mini review.
I'm less prepared to do it that way, but I will try.
Okay, do your best.
It'll take you 3 minutes.
All right, so we're talking about Terminator.
Put it this
Dark
way, Barry.
Fate.
Barry. According to the numbers, nobody's seen this freaking movie, so there's a lot more people to spoil it for. So
there's been how many? You know, Terminator 2 is one of your favorite movies.
It is.
We all know that.
It is.
Where does this meet your expectations?
All right, so here's how I'll say it. This is the Force Awakens of Terminator movies. They took the formula from Force Awakens, and they said, how do we remake Terminator 2, but make it different? And that's what they did. And
Okay.
there's very much beat for beat
that is a
Terminator
good
2
analogy. Yep.
with minor variations and twists. Although the other thing that I will say, and I won't go into detail, but they Alien 3'd this thing in the first 5 minutes, so, you know...
Yeah.
There were elements of Alien 3 that I was like, not that it actually is elements, but from a structural standpoint, they kind of followed some of that, which I just, that to me was a weird thing. Kind of took me out of the movie from the first 5 minutes, and I never fully got back in. So I would say it's a hard pass. I would not recommend you go see this movie.
Hard pass.
Wow. Okay. So you, not even a wait for the Blu-ray.
Look, when it's on HBO, go watch it. But
Okay.
I wouldn't pay to see it.
Crystal sculling.
I'm not crystal sculling. I'm being
That is
brutally honest.
this is the antithesis of crystal sculling.
Yeah.
So-
this is Barry saying a movie was bad.
Upside down crystal sculling.
And let me couch that. It's not a bad movie. It's not a poorly made movie.
Hard
the script.
pass.
The script is terrible. There's not much of a script. The action sequences were good. Since I saw it, I've listened to a podcast where they interview the director. I've listened to a podcast where they interview Linda Hamilton. I really wanted to like it. I knew I probably wouldn't love it. But if you're going to pretend that the last 3 movies didn't exist and you're picking up where T2 left off,
Oh, really?
it doesn't.
That's where they go?
That's what they did.
So in a world where Total Recall technology is available, would you have this removed from your head?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Better or worse than Terminator 3?
Worse.
Better
Because
or worse
Terminator
than...
3 doesn't step all over the previous film.
I didn't think Terminator 3 was horrific.
No, it wasn't. It was okay.
It was okay. And what about that last one?
Genesis.
All right, here, hold up your... I enjoyed Genesis more than I enjoyed
Right,
this one.
yeah, Amelia Clark, right, I got it. Okay. Yeah.
No, it's not even that. It's just...
That wasn't Amelia Clark, was it?
Yeah, it was Amelia Clark.
Yeah, that's all he
She
could
played-
talk about. Go back and listen to the show, Dave.
She played
It's
Sarah
not like
Connor.
it's Katherine Heigl.
It would have been better if it was Katherine Heigl. But
Okay, you have the
I
choice.
really... I mean, I need to
On the
spoil this
desert
for you
island.
to tell you why I was
Don't
so upset
spoil
with it, but
No,
I'm not
no,
going
you
to.
said you've done your job.
Yes.
Let him
I'll
finish.
watch it when it's on
Let
Disney
him
Plus.
finish. Barry, wrap up.
No. I'm just saying, for me to tell you why I hated it so much, I would need to spoil it for you, and I won't do that.
Okay,
Fair
fair enough. No, that's fair. That's fair. So
No, that's exactly what this segment should be.
okay.
The one thing I
said
will
a
say,
lot without
positive,
saying-
that I'm shocked they didn't do more of was there aren't a lot of throwback lines or there's almost no Easter eggs in this. And I actually watched a bunch of YouTube videos afterwards to go, how do you make this movie without Easter eggs? I must have missed them all. And all the YouTube videos that I watched and all the websites I went to was like, yeah, the kind of pretty much were very few to almost no Easter eggs back to the Terminator franchise. How you do that in a movie like this, I don't even know.
Boy, this thing is this franchise dead? I mean, this thing landed
Yes.
with a thud.
This franchise ended with Terminator 2.
No, but they've tried this. They've not landed this with 3, with Salvation, with Genesis,
And now with this.
or apparently with this.
And I don't even
that's a lot of
understand, having
chances.
seen the movie, I don't even understand the title. I figured I would, at some point, understand the Dark Fate title.
Sure.
No.
Even Alien had 3 tries also. Right? No. 2.
It was
Is there
Alien.
something?
Well, if you count, it depends on which ones you count. There was Alien 3 and Alien 4,
never
and then
mind.
there
That
was
gets-
the 2 Prometheus movies.
I have a guy at work. It's just an aside.
That's like two. That's like 2 hits and 4 strikes. So yeah.
There's a kid at work who's got to be 23, 24, and we've been talking about stuff, and he was around Halloween, and he's like, oh, what's your favorite horror movie? And I'm like, I don't love horror movies, but if I had to say my favorite horror movie is Alien. Oh, I don't know that one. And I'm like, well, see it. Alien and Aliens are 2 of the best movies, my favorite movies, for 2 different reasons. Oh, is that part of the Alien versus Predator series?
Yeah, oh my God, yes, I know. So bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, I really wanted... I knew I wouldn't love this, but I really wanted to like it.
Yeah. I will say, if you listen to the audiobook for the alternate Alien 3, you can kind of ease yourself into a world where that's what came next and just ignore everything else, because it's pretty well done. It's a very different thing.
Well, we
it's the
talked
movie
about this
they
like
should
4
have
years
made.
ago when we rewatched the whole Alien series, but
Yeah.
like the director's cut of Alien 3 is not nearly as bad as the
No, but what I'm saying, this is William Gibson's alternate, script that wasn't shot, and it was released in comic form. It was released as a novel and as an audiobook. The audiobook's very good. Lance Hendrickson narrates it, a lot of it, and it's a full cast drama. Michael Benn's in it, and a woman who sounds more like Sigourney Weaver than Sigourney Weaver, and it's good. And like I said, now in my head, that's what comes after Aliens, not everything that came after Aliens. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
worthwhile.
Well, that's very good directional information.
Disappointed is the one
Yeah.
word.
Well,
I would use.
sometimes the point man gets out a little ahead, and it's what happens.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'll ask again. Any last thoughts?
I have a last thought.
Oh, good.
Okay, so if you go to our website, regularjoes.com, what you'll see, the most recent entry is a link to the Adventure Team Chronicles Volume 1. I have the first 11 installments, never seen online before, up with some commentary and some supplemental materials. I've got the episodes broken down into 5 volumes, and I'm going to release them over the next several months, maybe one a month. But all 60 episodes eventually will be up there. These are remastered and recolored. We do some tweaking on them, but the pages are big and bright and beautiful, and you get to see all that super artwork, and some reasonable writing. But yeah, if you have not read these or have not read them for a while, go check them out. And like I said, periodically I'll be posting more because I'm working my way through and getting caught up on all of them. And eventually they will all be there. We'll also, in the not too distant future, be reposting all the Aesop pages too. So we're going to work our way through. And then Barry's got a lot of stuff that he's got that was previously published that we're going to put on the site too. And we'll have a good archive of our past works there. But we're starting with, like I said,
Awesome.
First of 5 volumes of Adventure Team Chronicles episodes are up, and please check them out. It's 9 years ago since I read 8 years ago since I wrote them. I actually enjoyed rereading them. There's some really good stuff there, and like I said, the artwork's terrific. So please check them out.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool.
So do go to the website. There's that, and then there's show-based stuff too. So
Yep.
there's galleries and all kinds of stuff. So don't forget to go to that on a regular basis. So that's helpful.
Yep.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
For my dead body.
Uhleniuma. Česko kututa Krista Krenko. Ja Oscar.
Yes, I bet you have.
Makanki.